Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today is the third episode of the reliving of the Oops battery that I have right here behind me. And I did actually get a bit further in the second part that I didn't record, and I don't know why, because it was ready. Because let's have a look at it over here. And when I did the editing, I saw that I really have to get closer to this thing. I filled up all the cells, and like there's 10 batteries, so there's 6 cells in every battery, and that was like 60 cells that I fill up with the syringe and the distilled water right there. And I kept record of it. Let's see. We have all the batteries 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 to 10, and I measured what they weighed before I put in the liquid, and I measured how much liquid I put in the battery, and I measured the battery. I weighed the battery afterwards, and I did some voltage. I checked what the voltage was, and some of them was pretty good. This one was over 12 volts, number 2, and number 3 was pretty bad. It was under 10, and number 6 was under 9, actually 8.5. But otherwise they were in like the 11 volts area, pretty much all of them. So I did that, and I charged them. And I checked for leakage, if there was leaking out of water, and it didn't really seem. They looked like that they were pretty good sealed, but yeah, there might be some water leaking out of them. I would expect that after crack opening 60 batteries. And yeah, like I said, I put a charge in them. This one doesn't go there, and the pencil is over there, and the leads and they're not part of this. But this mess of wires charges the one strip and the other strip. And let's just start the multimeter, and it says 0. Okay, the leads has fallen off here. It's just laying there, so 65.8. And when I remove the charge, it drops to 63 volts, 62. So that's actually pretty good. And I am planning to take this off the charge and put it back into the Oops, because this is really not bad. And then I'm gonna take the battery in the Oops and bring it down here and try and do the same thing. Actually, before I do that, I think I'm gonna open the plastic, and I'm just gonna measure all the cells and see if I still have some bad cells, like the number 3 was bad and the number 6 was bad. And can we see that? Yeah, this. Yeah, they're not that good, but I wanted to see if they're better now, and if they're not, it might be a good idea to change those batteries out of the loop and take some good ones from the other one and make one good battery pack. So I'm gonna take open the plastic again and just measure all the batteries. And okay, I have the first side open, and we'll just measure it, and I'll just tell you the numbers. You can maybe see them up there. 12.26, 12.98, 89, 12.45, and that was number 3 was a bad battery. and 12.15 and 12.04. So they're kind of a lot better, all of them. And I'll just go over to the other side. Number 6, 11.16, that's not that good. 12.67, 12, 12.86, 12.88. So the number 7 was pretty bad. No, number 6. Yeah, number 6 is still bad, but a lot better than it used to be. So I'm still gonna put this battery pack up in the oops. I don't know how much I was in the way measuring that, but I'm gonna put it back up into the oops and try to let the oops work with it. So closing up the pack. Okay, it's closed up. I think I'll just take a piece of tape and put on here so that it doesn't go apart. Putting on the tape here. Now that all the tape on the batteries is gone, because I have had all the batteries out, the pack is not as strong anymore, so I have to be a bit more careful handling it around so that it don't fall apart. But off to the oops. So we're in the data center, as I sometimes like to call it, and in the bottom here we have the oops, and it's complaining right now, and it has been complaining for a while because the battery is no good. So I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to turn these off, so I usually just try and press some buttons. It clicked. Maybe it's gonna shut off now. And it's not shutting off. Then I'm gonna try to remove the power on the wall, and it's in a, like, I'm just testing it, so it's up here. It's the white one, so I'm just gonna take that out. And these things on the side is to direct the airflow. Okay, this battery was pretty easy, it just shut off the oops when I unplugged it. So this battery is worse than the one I have in the basement. I haven't taken it up yet because I wanted to take this one out so that I don't have to handle two batteries here at once. Take off the cover here, and I'll just loosely put on the screws. So I'm just gonna unscrew these just a little bit. I really need to come down here with the vacuum cleaner. It's kind of dirty. There we are. And this panel comes off. You've probably seen that. Then we can take this out. So that needs some, definitely needs some distilled water as well. I'm gonna bring that with me to the basement, and I'll bring the other one up. Okay, I got the other one with all the numbers. We're gonna put that in. Yeah. So that's in, and I'll plug in the plug in the wall. We can see that. There we are. And it's doing a test on the batteries. Come on. It is still complaining. The battery sign went off. So something is okay. I don't know what the attention button is. Oh. So this probably means that there is power on it, so now we can probably turn it on. Okay, I think it's this one. And the oops is on. I think it's working now. I wouldn't try to stress it for quite a while. I think the batteries have to be charged in here for a while, and I think I'll still take out the pack and check those. That bad cell number 6 was pretty bad. It was still only 11 volts, but it might be good again after a while here. And I have the other pack down in the basement now that I'm gonna try to put in some distilled water in that. So I'll have another power pack, and hopefully that will be good as well. So these batteries are probably not that good, but it says it's okay right now. I've put the screws loosely back on again. No reason to tighten them up too much, and I'm just gonna put the cover back on to just to have it look nice. It's okay if it doesn't look like shit. So. Yep. I'll have it charged for a while, and then I'll try and connect my server. I have a server here that I usually use, and I will connect one of the power supplies down to the oops, so that it gets power from the net through one of the power supplies, and it gets power from the oops on the other power supply. And I have a switch in here as well. It's around on the back side. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lights. On the back side of the rack there's a switch, and I need to power that as well. And there's some storage up here that needs power as well. So now I'll go down to the basement and start the process of putting in distilled water in 60 cells. This is quite a lot of work, but the battery cells are quite expensive as well. And if you want to buy a brand new power pack for a OOP system like that, it's about $500, at least here in Denmark. It's about that amount. Even I think it's even a bit more than that. So it's a lot of money. So let's go down to the basement. And you've seen this in the first and second video, so I'm not gonna show you this again, but we'll see. So I got the other battery pack down in the basement, and I've actually also taken it apart. This tape holds the thing together, and it's glued on top of the battery, so this is not easy to get off. It takes some efforts. And now I'm gonna measure the batteries to see which one is bad. and so on, and take it apart and fill them up with distilled water. Okay, I just measured them all and they're pretty bad. These are the ones that was in the oops for a while. And I'll just set up the meter here. And I'm gonna show you a couple of them. Let's see, here's the meter. And I'm just gonna take the test leads and just test a few of them. This is 4.74 volts. Can you see that? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It's not very good. And the next one, 5.2 and 4.58 and so on. The best one was about 7 point something volts, so these batteries are really dry as well. So I'll do the same procedure and hopefully they will be a lot better. Okay, now I have detached all the caps from all of the batteries. They're over there. And I have filled in distilled water, or actually I've had my cousin help me do it. And I'm gonna let them sit the night over and see if this water drains down into the battery, because I've heard that the cells might absorb some more water, and I'm gonna try that. So I'll be back tomorrow morning. So it's the next morning, it's Sunday morning, and the batteries has been sitting the night over, and maybe some of the distilled water has sunk into the batteries, and that's what I'm gonna look at. And we'll just move over here. Number 1 battery, and we'll have a look. The distilled water have sunk some down into the cell, but it's, yeah, this cell, yeah, I can still see the water down there and there. So this is probably not a bad thing. I'm not sure about the water in this one. I don't think I can see it. I'll just pick up a flashlight. Okay, I have a flashlight and I'll look down into that cell. Oh, I think I can see the water down there. Yeah, I can see the water, so it's probably fine. I don't know if you can see the water. Try and zoom in here. No. I'm not able to get the camera down there. This time I didn't measure how much distilled water I put in to each battery, and instead I just thought that I would put in the water, and I have measured them before I put it in, and I'm gonna measure them again after I put it in, and that should really be enough to determine how much water that came in each battery. Okay, I've done the first 3 batteries. I just wanted to show what I do. I take the syringe and I put it down into the battery, and there's kind of like a stop down here. So I go down to the stop and then I just pull it a little bit up, and then I suck up the water that is there. So I take just the top of the water so that the battery is not over full. So we can just see how much water there was in it. Here's the syringe. So this is the water that was in the top of the battery. There it is, and the syringe is ready for the next one. And then I put on the caps here, every one of them. And I put glue on the sides here, just like it was glued together before I took off the caps. Was that all of them? Yeah, it looks like it. And I can see there's something missing from this one, so I need this cap because I took something off when I broke off the cap, so this one will definitely fit best here. And it looks like the other ones are not so important. They are kind of okay, all of them. And I just with a nail I just fix this line so that it's kind of round, and put down the cap. I'm not gonna fix these batteries another time, so if this doesn't make them work, they're going for recycle instead. I might find the solution where I take some batteries from one power pack to another power pack and there we are. And that's another one. Number 4. 4 down, 6 to go. So all the batteries has been put back together, and now I'm gonna measure the weight and put it in the sheet on paper. And number 1 is 1924, and number 2 is 1919. And I'm not gonna do all of these on camera, but afterwards I'm gonna measure the voltage on them just to see what has happened. So number 1 is 4.63 volts, 4.63, and number 2 is 5.13, 5.13. They really need to be recharged again, so I'm gonna do the rest, and then I'm gonna let the batteries dry up so that the caps is fast and secure. So that will be good. So in the meantime, when we are waiting for the batteries to dry up, the glue on the caps, I'm gonna try and test the OOPS battery that I put in yesterday, and I found a cable, and I was thinking about powering one of these servers, which right now is not powered up. So I was just gonna use that for a test to see if it would run it. And I have the chance that I can power the server without it really being on, like power the server in standby mode. These IBM servers, they have like a management adapter built-in, which means they have a little computer in the big computer. So that could be funny to see if that can be powered up, and then power up the server and see if the battery can run the server. And I've also gone and found an old laptop, and this laptop just happens to have a serial port, which is, it's kind of seldom, not very common anymore. And this serial port should be able to talk to the software in the OOPS. So, but it has a slight problem, which is the hard drive is missing. I have to find a new hard drive for it, and it's an old model. I'm gonna plug into one of these servers, the ones that there are no light in them. And to do that, we're gonna go around behind the rack, and there's really not a lot of room here. So we are down here, and we'll plug in power down here. Just one of them. There, power. And we'll plug it in right there. And the server lights up over here, and there's light in the diodes at the power supply as well, so that's good. So we can see that server has come on. It's not really on now. It's in a mode where it has power, but the server is not on. So right now the management card inside of the server has power and is using power. So, and it looks like the OOPS is okay. It did not rise in this bar, so maybe we should just try to power it on and see what happens. The server powered on, and the OOPS is not complaining about anything, but a server like that, it doesn't use that much power. It's about 200-300 watts when it's powered on. I'm just gonna wait until it settles down, and then we'll try and disconnect the power to the OOPS and see if it will power the server. Just unplug power to the OOPS here, and it should be complaining, which it's not. It's complaining. It says bad battery, or that it's using battery and main power is bad, but the server is still on. So the OOPS is working. I haven't read the manual. I really should see if it's supposed to be read in battery right now, but that could be pretty normal. So, okay, that's working, so I'll power back up the OOPS. And right now the server is complaining, and it's probably because the server has two power supplies and I've only powered up the one of them. So, putting back power here. There we are. See how it... Okay, it found out that the power is good again, and it turned green. That's pretty cool. Then I just need the hard drive for the laptop so that I can come into the firmware and see what's happening. So, okay, I actually found a really old Hitachi hard drive in my stash of old computer things. And this is a 12 gigabyte hard drive, and it's so old. I'm not sure if I can find a date on it. Yeah, It's from the 14th of November 2000. So this is old. There's the date. So I'm gonna try and put that in, and what I was calling it before, it's an IDE hard drive. So, and it comes with this little attachment so that it fits into the Dell laptop here, and this laptop is it's a C model, I think. CC. Oh, it doesn't say in here. It says on the back side it's a C840. So it's an old laptop as well. Yeah, I can't find the date here either, but it's probably it's probably a bit newer than the hard drive, but it's still an old hard drive. Yeah, it comes with XP, and XP I think wasn't that about 2002, so it's probably around there. Sometimes, but not very often, it's a good thing to never throw anything away, because this hard disk tray was missing the screws for the hard drive, and these has to fit pretty exactly for the hard drive to be able to fit in the laptop. And I just happened to have screws laying around that would fit that. And I tried to put it in without the screws, but the hard drive, it kept slipping down here and not getting the attached to the inside of the computer. There we are. Then I just need to find a power plug for the transformer or the adapter. Okay, I've found a power cord for the adapter and I've plugged it in, and unfortunately when I try to power it on, nothing happens. It does some testing or something, and the lights, it's green up here, and it complains about the battery. But I just happened to find another battery when I was looking for the power cord. But this battery is probably just as bad. So yeah, there's like a battery meter on it, and it shows absolutely nothing. So, but I'll try and plug that in instead and see what happens. Nothing to lose. This battery is also absolutely dead. So I have two absolutely dead batteries. And this laptop can actually take two batteries. You can take out, it has a floppy drive from way back then. It still complains about the battery. Okay, I tried to unplug the battery, see if anything happens when I do that. There's still nothing on the screen. It just powers off again. I think I'll have to take it a bit apart and see if there's any memory in it. That might be a mistake if there's nothing in it. Okay, I found at least one of the mistakes. There's no memory in this computer, so I need to go and find some memory blocks for it and see if that might help. I really hope so, because otherwise this is just junk. Okay, just a little bit of RAM. Actually, I found one block. It's very similar to this one, but this one did not fit in there. They changed the placing of this little slot just a millimeter to show that this is another type of RAM, but it looks exactly like the one that I put in, and right now we have something on the screen, and that's a lot better than just before. I'll have to see if I can find my Windows XP CDs somewhere to install that, because I'm probably not gonna be able to run very much else on this old machine. Ah, the good old days. Pizza and Coke and installing XP. So this was a long break because it was kind of difficult, and you just forget how long it really takes to install Windows XP on an old laptop and update it with service patches and all the stuff that it needs. But we're in the data center and the laptop is up and running. And I've actually went to HP's homepage, found the HP power management configuration software, and it has just found the oops. I haven't done this yet, so I'm gonna try and continue. The Windows XP I installed is in Danish. It was the only one that I had laying around. So this is gonna be quite exciting to see what happens now. And I have connected to the oops through a serial port. Haven't done that in a while. Oh, there is something. Let's see what it does. HP management. Oh, it probably have some default password, which I don't know right now. So, maybe it's admin. Let's try that. No. Okay, I need to go and find the default password. Oh, I hacked it, or maybe not, I don't know. Oh, and we get some stuff. This is cool. Let's see what the oops is saying. We have the voltage and output voltage, and we have some other things. Runtime remaining in minutes, battery voltage 133 volts. It looks kind of happy, and the output power is 180 watts. Right now it's powering that server. I haven't disconnected it yet. I am going to. But that's kind of cool. Logs. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. We will have to get back to that, but it really didn't look that bad. It looks like that it's okay with the battery. Oh, there's a battery test here. We can test the battery for some amount of seconds. Let's test it for 20 seconds. See if that's doable. Executed action successfully, it says. It didn't really say anything to the battery test. Kind of disappointing. No, oops may not support battery test guide for. Okay. I think I'm gonna end the video and call this a success. I'm able to use my oops again, and it's able to power a server, and Now I just need to go in and configure the server to use the OOPS, so that if the power goes away, the server will know that the power is gone away and start shutting down the systems after some amount of time. So success! I hope you enjoyed this video, and do give it a thumbs up, and I'll continue doing some other interesting videos. At least I hope they're interesting. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye bye.